Hey friends, welcome back to She's At It Again, and I am going to be making just about the most southern meal you will ever see me make. And it's been a while since I've had these, but I found some chicken livers in the freezer earlier, a couple of days ago, and I've had them thawing in the fridge. I have them soaking in some milk right now, so I'm going to do some instructions. Oh shoot, the dogs heard me talking out here. They're not happy when I walk out the door. They want to know what's going on. But we are going to be making fried chicken livers, and if you've never had them, I think you would be pleasantly surprised. It's like beef liver, but it's a more mild flavor from what I'm told, because I don't really eat beef liver, but I do like chicken livers. I grew up eating these, and they are delightful. I also have purple whole peas, and I want to show you what they look like in their unshelled form, and then just kind of throw them in a bowl, cook them up, and I'll show you how to do that. Super easy to do, but I grew these in my little wooden box that's part of my garden. I really don't have a garden, but if I have soil in a spot, I'm going to try to grow something in it if it's good soil. So go with me as we make some fried chicken livers, and I'm going to try to keep them warm, or at least edible, until my husband gets home. We'll make some gravy to go with these, and I have some rolls left over from another meal. So supper's almost done as far as I'm concerned. And I look forward to sharing this with you, because a lot of you will go, chicken livers, that's disgusting. It's really not, but once you have them, you'll see why I'm so excited about finding them in the freezer. We're going to get our peas cooked ahead of time. I went out and picked a few more peas, and we have those in a container right there, and those are beautiful. Now they're going to lose this green color. They're going to turn more brown, but I love them at this stage. I mean, literally just almost heat them up and eat them like that. It makes the whole house smell good. I can remember my Nana cooking these when she would get ready to put them in the freezer or can them, and at this stage I would come in and say, can I just have a little bit? Always the answer was yes, always. Anything to get me to eat, because I just didn't eat a lot, I guess. But I would come in and say, can I just have like a little cup of those right now? And she would let me eat some just almost at this stage, but just heat it up, and they're so yummy. Okay, we're going to add salt to these. We're going to add bacon grease from no nitrate, nitrite bacon, which is basically uncured bacon. And we'll cook these and have these tonight as well with our chicken livers. So I'll keep an eye on them, not wanting them to boil over, but we're just going to cook them low and slow for maybe 30 minutes or so, and they'll be done. About that much bacon grease to season that with. And of course we'll add salt. And that, my friends, is what purple whole peas look like when they're just heated up enough. You can see that grease floating in there. Oh my goodness, these are going to be so good. All right, so this is done. I'm going to turn the burner off on this, and all we have to do is just reheat these when it comes time for dinner. here we have our livers, and I've rinsed them, and they're just draining in there. And don't be shocked if the liquid in it looks like blood, because it is. It's an organ meat. That's what filters the blood. So we're just trying to rinse some of that out. You're not going to die if you eat some blood. It's okay. All right, here we have buttermilk, and if you don't have buttermilk, you can use regular milk and just put some vinegar in it, a tablespoon for every cup. We are going to put these in there. Now these come in pieces. It kind of looks like a butterfly, so it has two segments. So I just tore them apart in the center. I don't want huge pieces of it. And even if it's a piece like that, connected by a string, I just pull it apart. Not a string, but you know, a connector. If there's any pieces like this, like a piece of fat, then I will take that off. Okay, just make sure that the buttermilk covers these. And we're going to put these in the fridge. We're going to let them sit in there for about an hour or so. All right, we're getting started here. I have my electric skillet plugged in right up here underneath my cabinet. I have plug mold strip up there. And I've turned this on 375 degrees to preheat it. And the reason I use an electric skillet is twofold. I can use it wherever I need to, but I like the fact that I know exactly what my temperature is without having to keep sticking a temperature gauge in it and then it cooling off when I put the stuff in there. So it regulates itself and stays at 375. So in this bowl, I am going to put flour, and it's close to a cup. It really depends on how much product you have. So how many chicken livers you have just depends on how much flour you need. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of salt in there. I am going to put a little bit of paprika in there. Close to a teaspoon. And a bit of black pepper. But you put whatever spices you like in there. This isn't necessarily a recipe for a great breading. This is just showing you how to cook the chicken livers. So this is organic extra virgin olive oil that I have heating up, and it probably doesn't have a 1/4 of an inch depth in there. You don't have to deep fry these as far as making sure they're submerged in the oil. They're going to cook. These will cook in about 7 or 8 minutes. And I'm going to move my microphone up just a bit, make sure this is not catching more sound of me stirring than it is the words that I'm saying. But I want this to get preheated. Now, this pan has our purple whole peas in it. It's still warm, and I just scooted those back. So this is not sitting on a hot burner. I made sure everything on this is completely cool. And I like using it here because I can also turn my vent hood on and capture some of that heat once I start frying these. So I'm going to dip these livers in there just one at a time. Again, this has been soaking in buttermilk for a while. And you want as much of that breading, of course, to stick to it, just like a piece of fried chicken. Who wants a piece of fried chicken if all the breading's gone off of it? That's the part you give to, you know, somebody that doesn't know the trick. And if you've ever been to a dinner or a picnic where there's a big plate of fried chicken and you try to offer one that the breading has fallen off to someone, they look at you like you've lost your mind because nobody wants that piece. So you want to get as much of this breading to stick to it as you can. So this is what we're looking at. Something about like that. If you can see that brown chicken liver through there, dip it in that flour again. Okay, we're almost at our 375 ideal temperature. My guess is that I can cook about half of these at a time. I'd love to just put them all in there at one time and cook them, but I don't think the size of my pan will allow that. And I may have to just add or make more flour mix as we go, but that's okay. Everything's within reach of here. But we started out with about a cup of flour. All right, I'm going to turn this Vena hood on. It's loud. I apologize for that noise. Cover this up, and I'm going to set my timer for about 7 minutes, and then we'll check them after that time. Just gently turning them over so we don't knock the breading off of them. Put the lid right back on. Okay, timer went off. Whew. That's when I'm glad that Vena hood is there. Okay, this is what we're looking at. Well, see if I can get a better view of it. There you go. That is a good looking chicken liver. All right, we're going to get these others in there. Like I've said, I grew up eating these. So when I moved out on my own, I tried making these every once in a while. Talk about the biggest mess. Oh my goodness. I could make a mess. I didn't think to put them in an electric skillet. That just never occurred to me. But I'd have that iron skillet fired up and have that grease in there, and oh my goodness, the biggest mess. And it would just start popping like crazy because those little drops of water inside those pieces of chicken liver, man, they could throw some popping oil all over the place, and I would be about 3/4 of the way on defensive and 1/4 on offensive trying to get these cooked. I was just trying to protect myself from that oil popping out of the skillet. So it was not a pleasant task, but if you like them as much as I do, you'll do what you have to do to get them made. And I haven't had any in years. These are actually from a farm. We were friends with the owners of this farm. It was a local farm called Freckleface Farm, and they had pasture-raised pork. They had organically raised beef and very, very healthy free-range chickens. So I had gone out twice to help them process chickens, and I bought these chicken livers from them. So these are actually, I was on liver and gizzard duty. So these are probably some that I cleaned up when the chicken got to me. I'm not sure about that, but I'm just guessing because I was on duty that time that we processed these. They'd process about, I think, between 50 and 100 chickens at a time. I could be wrong about that, but I know we processed a lot of them, and we did it outdoors, and there were several people pitching in, a lot of good laughing, good fellowship, and just all-around good people. And they had very good products out there, so I don't know how easily it would be to find well-fed organic chicken livers in your area or mine. But I feel pretty safe in saying that this is a good product that I'm feeding our family tonight, just because I know the farmers and I know what the chickens were fed. Okay, I'm going to set the timer again for 7 minutes and get these cooked up. All right, I'm going to turn this to off because I'm going to be draining that oil in just a minute, because what's chicken livers without gravy? And I'm going to make my gravy in this skillet. But I probably don't need as much oil as what is in there now, so I'll drain part of that off. All right, these will go, put these in this oven right now, which is not turned on, but I'll put it in the oven out in the sunroom in just a bit because it is too hot to have an oven stay warm inside right now. All right, plug it back in and turn it back on now. There we go. And again, I'll turn it back on about 375. Now I put this in just a stainless steel pan, and I have this rubber trivet on the bottom because I don't like directly pouring hot stuff in something that's going to conduct to my solid stone countertop. All right, I can't remember if I've done a video on how to make gravy, but this is just how you do it from if you're from the South. Nobody measures anything. You just put it in there till it looks right. Our flour is our thickening agent, obviously. And because I have my camera set up right in front of the drawer where my whisk is, I'm going to use a flat wooden spoon to stir with. So if you're taking notes, so far we have the olive oil that the livers were cooked in, and I have flour, which is just organic all-purpose flour, and I'm scraping up these bits of the breading that have stuck to the bottom. I love this electric skillet. It's one of my favorite things in the whole kitchen. I have to honestly say that. My friend was going to sell it in a garage sale, but she told me if there was anything that I wanted in that pile of stuff, I could have it. And I spotted this. I could have cried. I was so excited. Something that didn't have a Teflon interior, something that was well built. It is thick, and it's not necessarily heavy like I can't lift it, but it's heavy like good heavy stainless steel. It's not aluminum, and oh my goodness, I was so excited. I've used this for so many kind of odd things that you wouldn't think you'd fix in an electric skillet, but I do like it a lot. It's a Salad Master brand, which I recognize that brand as being a good quality. So, needless to say, I was a happy girl. All right, we're going to put a bit of salt in there. Can always add more, but you can't add less. So I'll just put enough in there that I think looks right, and we can always add more if we need to. And of course, black pepper. We're kind of fond of pepper here. Okay, last thing I need to add is milk to this. And what I'm doing right here is browning this. As my Nana would say, you just want to cook that flour taste out of the flour. So don't just get it mixed up to where it looks thick and then automatically start pouring your milk in there. You need to get that flour cooked well. And when it's browned, normally it is cooked well. I'm going to add a little bit more flour. Once I make this gravy, I can actually leave it in this pan and serve it from this. It'll probably be, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, depending on where my husband is, because I don't have any idea what town he's in today. He's all over the state a lot of times, and I think the last time I checked his location, he was in the western part of the state, and that's not where I am. So it may be a while before he comes home, but this will stay plenty warm in this skillet. I can always just keep it on warm. And then we wash it up when we're all done with it. Okay, so you want your gravy to be browned, not black, but not beige. All right, we're going to pour our milk in slowly. Don't just pour a big blob of it in there. I really wish I could get to my whisk, but I can't, so I can't whine about it. So pour it in a steady stream and just keep stirring. Okay, I'm going to go put this in the little oven to keep it warm, but I think I might do a taste test. The breading's perfect, I know that. The heat index is supposed to be around 102 this afternoon, so I could easily just go set that out in the backyard and it would stay plenty warm, but we won't do that just for the fear of a bug getting in it. So it is really, really warm outside. This is not something I typically make on a day that's this hot, but it just sounded so good. Okay, just in time, the garage door came up, and I'm going to turn this off because this is thick. I'll put the lid on it, and my husband just pulled in the garage, so he's at home right now, and we're about ready to eat. So I'm going to heat the rolls up, and we are going to have some chicken livers and gravy for dinner, and purple whole peas. So I'm excited about that, and that'll be a good surprise for him. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. Bye, guys.